Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى لا سيما المصطفى صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Brothers and sisters, I would like to welcome you to another live edition of your program Ask Huda. And by the way, MashaAllah, we finished the first middle of Ramadan, the first half of Ramadan, and we're approaching towards the second, third of Ramadan very swiftly, MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless in our time. May Allah the Almighty bless us all in our time. Ameen. Our phone numbers beginning with the area code are 002-0238-555-249. Alternatively, same area code 002, then 02 01125008679, and Facebook page is Dr. Muhammad Salah Official. Without any further ado, by the time you start ringing in, I have a few questions that I received on the page. The first is Sadat Rashid says he wanted to know whether the zakah or the person is liable to pay zakah for the same piece of wealth again and again every year. He said, I've been asked by a friend, what is the basis of paying zakah on the wealth every year, and for the same wealth which we have paid for it again? That's a good question, and we understand that first of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who ordained the zakah. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, and establish the prayer and pay the zakah. In the hadith, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Mu'adh ibn Jabal and Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, may Allah be pleased with both of them, to Yemen, he said to Mu'adh what to do. When he informed him the technique of giving da'wah, he said, invite them to La ilaha illallah. If they accept it, inform them that Allah has ordained 5 daily prayers upon them. If they agree to that, then inform them about giving alms or az-zakah. تُؤْخَذُ مِنْ أَغْنِيَائِهِمْ وَتُرَدُّ فِي فُقَرَائِهِمْ, to be collected from the rich and to be paid to their own poor people. Did not specify that is once per lifetime or once on the same wealth. Rather, the Prophet ﷺ used to collect the zakah annually. Every year, whenever the zakah is due, he will collect it, whether it is the same wealth or in addition to new wealth that is added to it. That's why Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anh ordered the guardians of the orphans to invest in their wealth, lest that it may be devoured by paying zakah. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Hamza from the KSA. Okay, try again, Sister Hamza, no problem. Why did he say so? To invest in the wealth of orphans. If somebody died and he left some wealth for his children, and there is a guardian, so the guardian is looking after the orphans and after their wealth, is doing nothing but providing them with their basic expenses and what they need until they reach a rushd, where they are mature enough, then give them their money. Throughout this time, the zakah is due on this wealth yearly, whenever it is al-hawl, because it is above the nisab. But they're orphans, you still pay zakah on the wealth. It has nothing to do with the age. So if you pay zakah yearly and the wealth is the same, it will be reduced. So that's why he said invest in the orphan's wealth, lest the zakah may devour it. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Hamza is back on the line.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have quick questions, 3 only. My first question is the concept of sajdatul shukr correct, or is it an innovation?
Okay.
And the second question, from which age can a child be an imam for his mother? And the third question is, if I recite a surah in the first rakah only half of the surah, do I have to finish the other half in the second rak'ah, or can I just read any other surah?
Okay.
And if I make the mistake in that surah, do I have to do sajda sahw?
All right. Thank you, Sister Hamza. Barakallahu fiki. Sajdatul shukr is a sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ prescribed whenever somebody receives good news or whenever Allah saves you from a harm, you fall in prostration, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the tasbih and thanking Allah the Almighty for what He blessed you with. It has been reported that when the Prophet ﷺ entered Mecca, he lowered his head until it reached almost the neck of his camel in prostration, and he was giving thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is sunnah whenever you receive good news to fall in prostration as means of thanks and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As far as imamatul sabi, how old should be the child in order to lead somebody in the prayer. Old, according to the vast majority of the fuqaha, is not necessarily the age, rather it is a tamyiz. When you have a child who memorized Quran or memorized the whole Quran, and he is mature enough more than many adults, he knows how to recite the Quran properly, he knows the ahkam, even if he did not reach the age of puberty, even if he's at the age of 8 or 9 or 10, but he knows Quran, he knows how to recite, he knows how to pray, then he can lead you in the prayer. And that happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when a child who was not even 8 led his people in the prayer, because he used to learn Quran even before they accepted Islam. And when they all came accepted Islam, the Prophet ﷺ said, يَأُمُّ الْقَوْمَ أَقْرَأُهُمْ, and he happened to be the most educated in Quran of all of them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Aisha from Nigeria. Sister Aisha, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, Sister Aisha. Go ahead, please.
How is Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, and happy Ramadan to you and to your family.
I want to know.
Sister Aisha, could you mute your TV, please?
Khair.
Could you please mute your TV?
I want to know about shaping of eyebrows.
Okay, I got your question.
Whether it is haram or halal.
طيب.
Shaping of eyebrows.
All right, thank you. Sister Aisha, I got your question. Sister Hamza's third question. If somebody recites a surah, after Surah Al-Fatiha, he recited half of it. He recited Surah Al-Buruj, Surah Al-Tariq, Surah Al-Shams, whatever. Do I have to continue the other half in the next rak'ah? No, you don't have to. And you may recite one surah and another surah in the Quran, and this surah precedes this surah. It doesn't matter. What matters is that when you recite in the same surah, the order should be kept. So if you recited a few ayat from this surah, and you want to recite other ayat from another surah in the following rak'ah, that is permissible too. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ikram from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Go ahead, please.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Ikram, you're live on Ask Huda. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
No.
Then you can hear me.
Okay, look, if I saw cockroach, is it permissible to kill the insect or cockroach?
Yes, it is permissible to kill the cockroach. Yes, it is permissible to kill a cockroach or whatever of the harmful insects. Thank you, Ikram, our young viewer. May Allah bless you and your family. Sister Hamza also asked about if I made a mistake in the recitation of a surah after Al-Fatiha, or if I forget something, do I have to make sujood sahw for it, you don't have to make sujood of or prostration for forgetfulness, for forgetting in the recitation of the surah after Al-Fatiha. I think I did answer now 4 of your questions. Okay. Sister Aisha from Nigeria asked about shaping the eyebrows or an-nams. There is a hadith, a sound hadith in this regard, where the Prophet ﷺ cursed this practice and cursed the one who does it, whether for herself or for others. And also, this practice is forbidden for both men and women, not only for women. Barakallahu fiki, Sister Aisha from Nigeria. Sister Asia from the case says, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
Question 1, that after the first salah, when the Imam finishes the At-Tayyat and does the Salam, because the Imam is very quick in the masjid, and we cannot say our personal dua in tashahhud or in sujood as we do at home in sunnah of Farz namaz when we ladies are praying at home. So can we raise our hand and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is that also come in bid'ah?
You mean after the prayer?
Question number 2.
Sister Asa, you mean raise your dua, you raise your hands and make dua after the prayer, right?
Yes, after the prayer. But because I didn't got the time because Sheikh is the Imam, it doesn't give that much of time to make dua. So he cannot wait for me, and my dua is incomplete. So can I do that? And but at home, I'm doing dua before At-Tayyat or in sujood. I'm doing that only. Question number 2 is there are many scholars here in Jeddah, Urdu-speaking scholars like Dr. Murtaza Baksh and all, and they claim that the aqidah of speakers like Nauman Ali Khan and Sheikh Yusuf Asji, Sheikh Bilal Phillips, and Mufti Mankadi are all in the wrong aqidah. Is such claim right? And I'm very much confused because what I hear, they are also saying the right thing from Aqidah, and the lectures, we hear it in the Huda TV itself, and even outside Huda TV. And here, even these people, Dr. Murtaza Baksh and all, they speak in Urdu, they are also saying right. But then why are they accusing, like Dr. Zakir Naik and everyone, whoever is an English speaker, they go against that. I don't know, why? And they are just telling all this to other things also, other people also. Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum. Brother Musa from Libya is next on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Huda, akhi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Go ahead, please. Could you mute your TV, please, Musa?
Please, I have this wonderful question to all my Muslim brothers and sisters.
Okay, so you already know it's a wonderful question, mashallah.
It's like I'm having fasting.
Yeah, Musa, mute your TV, please, so that we can hear your wonderful question.
The work I'm doing is like, I'm very tired, so I have to give
Excuse me. طيب. Could somebody from the control collect Musa's question, please? Excuse me. Sister Asia from the KSA, mashallah, is a regular viewer. May Allah bless you and your family. Asked about if she's praying in Jama'ah and the Imam was fast and did not give me a chance after reciting the Durood Sharif or the Tashahhud to make dua, where this is a very praiseworthy time to make dua, very special time. It has been narrated that the Prophet ﷺ used to make dua after the Tashahhud and before making taslim. amongst the du'as which were reported, he would say, Allahumma اغفر لي ما قدمت وما أخرت وما أسررت وما أعلنت وما أنت أعلم به مني أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر لا إله إلا أنت. And would seek refuge with Allah against the trials of the false Messiah, the grave, the fire of hell, and so on. طيب. If I don't have a chance to make dua during this praiseworthy time, do I have the right to make dua after the prayer? First of all, when the Imam makes taslim, if he's fast, you still have a chance to make the dua on your own, because this dua is prescribed in the last tashahhud before making taslim. So even if I spend a little bit of time making dua after that, that is permissible. But generally speaking, can I make dua after the prayer? We said, making dua after the prayer, it is not prescribed as a specific time, but in general you can make dua any time. A dua is a form of dhikr. There are specific times where this time is praiseworthy to make dua. This time is the best time to make dua, like in sujood, by the end of the prayer, on the day of Arafah. But if I want to make dua, recited my word or sabaq of the Quran, then I want to make dua, make dua. Prayed my nafilah, then I want to make dua, make dua. And I raise my hands in dua as well. You can raise your hands in dua, because it is a sunnah to raise your hands in dua. As long as you do not consider this a sunnah of the prayer or a part of khitam salah, and as long as it's not done in regular practices in congregation, as many people do that. And recently somebody asked me that it is almost a wajib in India, that we have to do that. I said, this is where we go wrong. This is where you guys have. Some of the scholars say, no, you cannot do that, because when you perceive it as a must or as a part inseparable from the salah itself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Shayma from Doha, Qatar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan Mubarak, Sheikh.
Barakallahu fiki. May Allah bless you, Sister Shayma. Thank you.
Yeah, Sheikh, my question is regarding about also Ramadan time, about the fasting. For the last year, what if you didn't pay that, you didn't you didn't pay the credit for the last Ramadan, and then you reach already the second Ramadan? What's going to be happen? Do I need to pay for the cash, and also I need to pay another fasting?
Oh, you're talking about the fidya.
Sorry?
You're talking about the fidya for not fasting. You did not pay the fidya of the last Ramadan.
Yeah, I didn't. I have a credit for the last Ramadan. I didn't make the fast until I reach again this new Ramadan.
طيب. I got your question, Sister Shayma. If the person owes any fasting from the previous Ramadan, and he or she is capable to fast, then they must make it up before the following Ramadan. It becomes a sin. It's like, qada. It's like postponing the prayer from its fixed time. Yet, saying that has happened, then you witness this Ramadan, because you cannot fast anything other than Ramadan during the month of Ramadan. Then after Ramadan, you make up the credit, the missed fasting of the last year. Some of the scholars require paying a fidya along with it as a ransom or as a penalty, but what is prescribed is to make up those missed days and make tawbah. If the person was not able to, a wife was pregnant, then after pregnancy she was in breastfeeding and she was tired or weak, she could not make up the missed fasting, the credit of Ramadan before the following Ramadan. She is not blameworthy because she could not do it. Make it next year, inshallah, after Ramadan is over. Barakallahu fiki. Assalamu alaikum. Amn from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you for taking my call. I have just one question. If I start praying with the intention of praying 4 rakats, but I prayed 2 by mistake, and then I realized my mistake after the taslim, can I pray 2 more rakats and make sajda sahu, or should I start over and pray the 4 rakats again?
Okay. Wa jazakum, Sister If you intended from the beginning to pray 2 rakats, and you only prayed one and you made taslim. You get up and you pray the remaining rak'ah, and you pray tashahhud and taslim, then you pray 2 prostrations for forgetfulness. So these 2 sujood will make up, because you already made the missed rak'ah, made up the missed rak'ah. Sujood al-sahw, in case that you miss a fard or a wajib, you must make it up first, then follow it by sujood al-sahw. So you don't have to begin the prayer from the scratch. Sister Asya brought up something very important. Let's discuss it after this call. Assalamu alaikum. Abu Mazen from Oman. Ya Abu Mazen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Thank you, Sheikh. I have a question.
Yes.
I have built some houses for selling, and recently I've already, they are not yet completed, but I've received some advance payment already from one of the buyers. I received only recently. How do I calculate the car for that money? I don't know, because some money I have received, some money I have not yet received it until I completed the house. My question is, how will I calculate the zakat money for that?
Yeah, okay. وجزاكم. Thank you, Abu Mazen. Sister Aisha from Nigeria, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, my question is it allowed in Islam that when you are praying witr, you hold a booklet to do the dua that they do in haram?
You want to make dua from a booklet during the prayer, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sister Aisha from Nigeria. I want to go back to Sister Asia's question, where people, accusing others, aqidah, of being corrupt. This is something very dangerous, because there is a big difference between objecting to an opinion or a view or a belief and generalizing that this person's aqidah is corrupt. You should not learn anything from him. You should not listen to him. This is a very, very dangerous approach, because when we do this, we will simply keep pointing fingers to each other, asking people not to listen to any of us, because this person has a problem and this person has another problem, and this person is defending somebody who has a problem, and this person is of the manhaj, and simply we become judgmental of each other. Wouldn't it be sufficient to say, here is the proper aqidah concerning al-asma' wal-sifat, or this person made a mistake, so I would write to him, email him, or declare this person is wrong in this particular aspect. He made a mistake in this particular aspect, so I declare it. Instead of judging this person's aqidah is corrupt. When you say somebody's aqidah is corrupt, that's equivalent to being a non-Muslim. You have to be very careful. So there are many procedures and several steps have to be undertaken before saying this person's aqidah is corrupt. Should not listen to him. You should be careful when dealing with him, especially when people whom you know their sincerity, and you know that they are true seekers of knowledge, and you know that they would not hesitate to change their view if somebody approached them with the right view. Recently, a couple of years ago, some people started attacking a particular person. So once we had a meeting, I personally picked up the phone and I said, there are some sayings about what you said here and there. He said, I did not mean that. I meant whatever. I said, you need to explain that to people. I want you to film that, even on your phone, and put it online so people would understand where you're coming from. And that was a mistake. And your belief is firm in this regard. And the person did not hesitate to do that. Alhamdulillah wa shukla, he did it. Those who were attacking him, they issued another statement saying, look, when we exposed them, his friends warned him, so he made a video to say that I did not mean that, and they accused him of being a liar. Now I know that something is wrong with the intention of people who are trying to correct others. Are you trying to discredit people, or are you trying to correct them? There is a big difference. There is a big difference when the Prophet ﷺ would answer people's questions and explain to them what is right and what is wrong, because they did not know. And somebody who is waiting for you to make a mistake. We all make mistakes. Who does not make mistakes? In addition to, there are some people who like to be famous and known, and that will be only achieved by attacking other people whom people listen to. We have to purify our intention. We literally have to purify our intentions. Recently, one sheikh was telling me that some people are attacking him because of his father's school of thought, not because of him, and warning people not to listen to him because of his father. That makes no sense. We have to be very careful, please. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Maryam from United Kingdom.
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes. Well, my question goes like this. I am originally from Nigeria, but and we normally take out zakat al-fitr back at home. But now I've traveled to the United Kingdom in order to do my studies. I don't know, should they continue to remove the zakat al-fitr on my behalf at home, or should I do it here in the United Kingdom?
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Sister Maryam. Brother Uthman from United Arab Emirates, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Sheikh, I would like to know about this zakat on the monthly basis. Do we have to pay zakat on a monthly basis out of our salary?
Uthman, inshallah, I get your question. We got to take a short break. Inshallah, I'll be back with some more. Please stay tuned.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala, from faqir, from needy, from helpless, from the one who is poor, of course, the servant of Allah. Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. You are truly the needy ones to Allah. Under different circumstances, all of us are possible targets of shaitan. He will try his best, as he promised, from the very early beginning of mankind, to attack us. We are lost without Allah's guidance, that we will be an easy prey to the devil, to Satan, to shaitan, to Iblis, to the challenge that Allah Azza wa Jal made for all of us as humans on this earth against his whispers, and we try our best to prevent and to block his plans and his plots. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make our houses heavens. May Allah make our houses places of peace and tranquility and love and mercy and compassion. May Allah protect our houses from evil. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our houses full of iman, full of Quran, full of dua, full
The Quran, the word of God, a miracle sent to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam by the Lord of the universe.
وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ نزل به الروح الأمين على قلبك لتكون من المنذرين بلسان عربي مبين.
This is the Quran Circle on Huda TV.
Muhammad, reading Allah's name. May the blessings of Allah be on Al-Mustafa. None besides him could have been Al-Mujtaba. Muhammad, peace be upon his soul. The greatest of prophets, Islam was his only goal. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. From among all the prophets, Muhammad was the last, as his was a mission of the greatest task. There was only moral degeneration. People clung to idol adoration.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. I would like to give an advice to myself and to all the seekers of knowledge, my brothers and sisters. We all make mistakes in science, in religion, in our studies, and sometimes you're not aware of the right answer. Sometimes you are following a different opinion. Remember that even the companions of the Prophet ﷺ used to have different opinions, but they used to refer to the Prophet ﷺ. We have an issue that the Sahaba used to differ concerning al-ru'ya, whether the Prophet ﷺ have seen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the journey of al-Mi'raj or not. So we do not judge those who differ with us as having corrupt aqidah, and will not come to a person who is known of his sincerity and hard work to spread the deen of Allah and say that this person is a danger and you warn people against him because he may have said something in a lecture that you did not agree with, or he may abstain from answering a question. Simply, recently some people try to avoid answering some questions, so others would judge them as, okay, look, he has a corrupt aqidah because he is skipping this answer. Well, if he says, I don't know, what would you do about that? I would educate him. I would tell him this is what the scholars said in this regard. There is a difference between somebody really does not know and somebody is stubborn and adopting a view which is corrupt. I will project this view. Trust me, if we do this and try to correct each other and help one another to be perfect. No one is perfect, but we try to improve ourselves. We'll be much better. The Ummah is being attacked from every direction. And the English-speaking scholars are very limited, those whom you can really trust and take your education from. When somebody is sitting in the shade and he's doing jihad on the keyboard, attacking this scholar and warning people against this person and listening to that person, that's not fair. You could do much better than that. You could send them messages of the right answer. You could at least project this particular error, not judge the person as with a corrupt aqidah. That's not fair. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Abu Muhammad from Sudan. Abu Muhammad. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh Muhammad, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have 3 questions.
نعم.
About Prophet Adam. Adam at the Jannah, Allah Azza wa Jalla, please tell me because my English is very weak. Allah Azza wa Jalla منعوا مني ناكل في شجرة معينة. What's the relationship between history and sexual?
أخي أبو محمد. أخي يا أبا محمد. يا أبا محمد.
You know, this is the first question.
I didn't get your first question, Muhammad, because the sound is not clear, if you can hear me. You said Adam in Jannah, then what?
Yes, Adam is in Jannah.
Yeah.
Paradise.
طيب قدر الله ما شاء فعل. If we lost you, please try again and leave your question with the control. جزاك الله خير. Sister Fatima from Gambia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I love you for the sake of Allah.
Thank you, Sister Fatima. May Allah bless you and your family. Barakallahu feek.
Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rab. I have a question. My question is about my salah. During my salat, every salat, I keep reciting Amana Rasul because of especially that the one that says, it says like Rabbana faghfir lana zunubana. That one is in Surah Al-Imran. These are the ones that I repeat. Amana Rasul, Surah Al-Ikhlas, because it says there's so much reward reciting Surah Al-Ikhlas. And when you look at Surah Al-Imran, somewhere it says وَلِلَّهُ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Somewhere it says Rabbana faghfir lana zunubana. I keep reciting these three. These are the three things I change in my prayers. Yeah. Is it okay to do this? And the other one too is I usually pray 4 rakah before Zuhur and 4 rakah after Zuhur, and I also do the 4 rakah before Asr. And normally when I pray Isha also I do 8 rakah and then I do the 3 rakah witr. Is this okay, Sheikh?
طيب بارك الله فيك. Sister Fatima, may Allah bless you and your family. You may recite any part of the Quran, whether a whole surah or a few ayat, in the nafil or in the fard prayer after you recite Surah Al-Fatiha. For loving to recite those ayat because you have supplications, or these are the only ayat that you know which have supplications, and you love to recite them, you alternate between them, that is permissible, no problem. I also advise you to add to them some other ayat so that you increase your treasure of memorization. Also, in the hadith, the companions narrated to the Prophet ﷺ, there was somebody who would always recite Surah Al-Ikhlas in every single rak'ah after Al-Fatiha. So the Prophet ﷺ asked him, why do you do that? He said, because I love this surah. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah loves you indeed because you loved this surah. Surah Al-Ikhlas is a marvelous surah. So when you recite it and you alternate between Surah Al-Ikhlas and other ayat, that is all permissible. Sister Fatima from Gambia. Barakallahu fiki. And as far as your prayer of the nafilah, I hope you're praying them 2 by 2. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, Salatul Layli Mathna Mathna, like the 4 rak'ahs before Dhuhr and 4 rak'ahs after Dhuhr. In another narration also, the Prophet ﷺ added 1 nahar. It will be best if you pray it 2 by 2. Jazakillahu khairan. Thank you, Sister Fatima. We have Abu Mazen, I believe, his question. Yes, Brother Abu Mazen, who sold a house or a property and he received a down payment, and he's waiting on the rest of the payment while the zakah is due on his wealth. What should he do? If the sale is final, then this money is considered a debt. And if you're sure that this money will come to you and the person recognizes it, or you have checks or guarantees, then this is your money. And even though it's not in your possession currently, but it's like a debt with a new date, a new due date, then you pay the zakah on it once your zakah is due on the rest of your possessions, whether it's investment or saving. Only if the money is with somebody whom you're not sure whether this money will come or not, then in this case, if the person loses hope, or if the person who owes the money denies it, then you don't pay zakah on it. If one day he paid you what he owes you, then you pay the zakah on it only once. Brother Abu Abdullah from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My question is, can I give zakat to my uncle or my brother? Jazakallahu khair.
Wa jazakum. Thank you, Abu Abdullah. Yes, you can give the zakat to your uncle or to your brother, provided they are eligible. And paying zakat to your uncle or your relatives is superior in reward than paying zakat to people whom you do not know or not related to you. Assalamu alaikum. Julia from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Julia. Thank you. Barakallahu fiki.
I want to ask about witr. If we miss out witr or we not pray witr on the night, then after Fajr or before Fajr, how we pray? Or there is no qaza for the witr?
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to know also about witr. You tell us how to read Qunut witr before ruku or after ruku, and how many rak'ahs should be.
Okay.
Yeah? Also, Sheikh, if you have time, please explain for me about duha also. Duha, how many rakats and how we have to read. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Julia from United Arab Emirates. طيب. Sister Aisha from Nigeria who asked about holding a book in the prayer to recite the supplication from this book. I wish we all understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to hear the dua from our hearts. Allah wants to hear from us communicating with Him from our hearts, not just simply mere reading. We say in the nafla, most of the scholars are of the view that you may hold the Quran because you want to recite a long recitation and you're not memorized. That is permissible in the nafl, according to the vast majority of the scholars. Because there is a reason. But I don't think the reason is there in making dua. A dua in the salah is prescribed in the qunut. And the qunut is normally in the witr prayer. And Sister Julia just asked, you can make the qunut before ruku' or after the ruku'. Most commonly after ruku' though. But the Prophet ﷺ did both. So you want to recite from a book? I do not think that is a good idea because dua al-qunut is simple and short. Some people who make it like a poem and long, this is not prescribed. The dua which is prescribed, Allahumma hadina fi man hadayt, wa afina fi man afayt, wa tawallana fi man tawallayt, and it shouldn't be long. If you want to recite a long dua after the prayer and read from the book, you can do that, no problem. Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry? Kabir from Nigeria, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, alaikum assalam.
Brother Kabir, welcome to Ask Huda.
Assalam, Sheikh.
Welcome to Ask Huda, akhi.
Yes, Sheikh, today my question is about interest.
Okay. What about it?
If somebody keeps, we know in Islam, interest is haram.
Yeah, I know that.
So if somebody is was given interest by his bank and he doesn't like it, can he return it to the bank or can he take it and give it out as alms?
As alms? No, you cannot give it as alms because this is not lawful for you. This money is not used. It's interest, usually. It's haram. But what you can do is collect it, then give it away. This is not a sadaqah though, but give it away in means which they deserve it. Hospitals, schools, orphanage, something like that. But do not benefit from it yourself. You cannot take it and give it as alms. Nor can you collect it and pay it towards a tax. In some countries where they impose tax on earning, some people collect the interest and they pay to the tax and say haram and haram because this is not permissible and this is not permissible or even. That is not permissible. It is not permissible for you to benefit from this interest earned money. It's usury. But we say if you leave it to the bank in many places, in many countries, this money will be redistributed or donated to non-profit organizations, which could be missionary groups, which could be churches, whatever. So you take this money and you give it to those who are eligible, or you donate it to an orphanage, to a school, to a hospital. But this is not a charity from you. The only reward that you may get out of that is that you got rid of the haram. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Uthman asked about paying zakah on the salary. Do I have to pay zakah on my salary? There are two ways to pay zakah on your earning and in your position. One, which is once you have a nisab, the value of the 595 gram of silver or the 85 gram of gold, or themselves, gold or silver, or their values, and you already pay zakah. Now every salary that you earn on monthly basis, you want to pay zakah for it independently. So by the end of the year, you don't pay zakah on that money which you already paid its zakah. But this process is a little complicated also to pay zakah on each hawl. You make a hawl for each month. It's like, on Sha'ban last year, I earned that much until Sha'ban this year. You pay zakah on this amount. And then on Ramadan, next Ramadan, so you have a hawl for each salary. And this is very complicated. Better than all of that is the easier method, which is your hawl, your time where the zakah payment is due, is once you possessed the nisab, the amount which we talked about earlier of gold or silver or their equivalents of cash, whether in saving or investment or goods for sale. Then if this was achieved, let's say on the 15th of Sha'ban, then 15th of Sha'ban next year, alhamdulillah, Allah bless you more and you have this amount and even more. Then you pay zakah on the entire amount. That is the easiest, and you're not going to miss anything. Rather, you'll be very accurate in your calculation. May Allah the Almighty guide us to what is best. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Brothers and sisters, see you tomorrow inshallah in peace. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance.